Are you tired of soggy French fries? Have you ever wondered why at home your French fries are never as crispy or delicious as at a restaurant or a supermarket? Well, let me introduce you to the triple cooked chip. So I'm using russet potatoes. That's what I like to use when I make French fries. I think that they get the crispiest. You can use Yukon Golds as well, but I personally prefer russets. I'm just gonna give them a wash and we're gonna cook them 3 times, hence triple cooked chip. So basically the idea is you're cooking the moisture out of the potato. A lot of the reason why you get soggy French fries is because when you cook them from raw, there's so much moisture inside the potato that's trying to escape. So you take a hard potato that's full of moisture and it's raw, and you put it into a pot and you cook it with oil. And originally when they come out of the pan, they're crispy and crunchy and hard and it's great. But as soon as the potato starts to cool down, it's releasing moisture. And as it releases moisture, it goes through the skin of the potato that you just fried. And all that steam basically is making the potato soggy because it's steam, it's moisture. The idea of triple cooking it is you're cooking it 3 separate times. And every time you cook it, you cool it down. We're gonna start the cooking in simmering water and just gently poach them. Cooking them all the way through, but not blasting them, just cooking them all the way through. Then we're gonna take them out, we're gonna cool them down in the fridge or freezer or outside if you're somewhere where it's cold. And we're gonna cool them down all the way. Then we're gonna cook them a second time in low temperature oil, probably around 300 and 325 degrees. They're not gonna take any color, but they're gonna be cooked again. They're gonna be soft. Then we're gonna take those potatoes out, we're gonna cool them down again. After they're cool that time, we're gonna drop them into high temperature oil. So what's gonna happen? They're gonna get crispy on the outside, and then they're gonna be cooked on the inside to the point where there's not any moisture left to escape the fry. And that crispy exterior that you have is gonna stay crispy, and your fry game is gonna be a lot better than it is right now. First step, I'm going to wash the potatoes because they're dirty. So I have water in the pot, water's cold. I have potatoes here, potatoes are washed. I'm gonna cut them in a size that makes sense for a French fry. Too thin doesn't make sense. They just burn or they don't take on the texture you want. Too big and they don't stay crispy enough. You're looking at probably like 1/2 inch by 1/2 inch, I would say. Potatoes I'm just cutting in 4. I'm keeping the skin on because the skin's nice. Nice flavor. The idea with this first cook is like, you're cooking them, but don't cook them so much that they get too soft and they all fall apart. Like you're kind of walking that line. You're playing that game of them being soft enough that they're cooked, but not destroying them all in the pan. You need to have a little bit of courage with it. It's like the longer you take them, in theory, the better they're gonna be, but you don't want them all to be broken. Don't think about it as boiling them. Think about it more as poaching them. If you have a steamer, if you have a steam oven, like in a professional kitchen, obviously steam ovens work really good, combi ovens work really good. Okay, great. So we have our fries. Look how beautiful. In the pot. Wash them before you cut them. Cut them, put them in with the starch all around the potato. Don't rinse the starch off. The starch is gonna help for it to get crispy and fried and delicious, all right? Potatoes are in, they're gonna tick away, and when they are done, we're gonna take them out really gently, pass off the water, pick them up onto a tray really gently without breaking them all, and then I'm gonna put them into my freezer to cool them down. And cook number 1 will be complete. So, we have our potatoes, they've been cooking, all right? Be very careful. Don't let them go too far, you're gonna have mashed potatoes. We're not making mashed potatoes, we're making crispy potatoes. Very big difference. They're just starting to fall apart, you know, on the edges, see? They're kind of breaking. That's kind of right where you want them. They're cooked, but they're still intact. Cooked and intact. You see some of them are breaking. It's kind of what you want. There's going to be a couple casualties here. You're making fries. Where you get them out into a plate or a tray. Basically, I'm putting them on the plate because I have a small freezer and a tray won't fit. So if we crank, but this will. You can see this one completely falling apart. Like, that's going to be delicious. You know, it's going to be broken, but it's going to be delicious because all the starch inside, everything's going to get really crispy and great. You kind of want that balance of the two. Don't forget, we're gonna cook it 2 more times before we serve it. So that's why, you know, you gotta be careful with that first cook. So our fries have now been put in the freezer. They're cold. I have oil on now in a pan at 300 degrees Fahrenheit, okay? And we are going to do the second stage of cooking in the potatoes, all right? So we're gonna, again, cook them through, not get any color on them, keep them still pale, really not looking for color. And then we're gonna get them back in the freezer to cool down again. They're in the oil for probably about 1 minute, 2 minutes. Again, just cooking them a little bit deeper, and we're gonna cool them down to relieve even more moisture. When you put these cold fries into the oil, it's obviously gonna cool the oil down. So just gauge it with your pan, right? Use your thermometer, look at your thermometer. When you're blanching the fries, you want the oil to be around 300 degrees Fahrenheit. When you're frying the fries on this next step, you want to be about 375, 400 even, right? Like I said, if some of them are broken, it's not the end of the world, because the broken ones are going to be the ones that are the most delicious, right? So like that, look at that. That's going to get super crispy. So here we have our French fries. They've been cooked 2 times actually. This is the 3rd time they're about to go in the oil. All right, they're cold, they were in the freezer. I have my oil, it's coming up to 375 right now, and I'm gonna drop them in. They're gonna become crispy and delicious. All right, let's go. If the oil's higher than 370, especially if you're doing this at home in a pot, that's fine, because it's gonna cool down as soon as you put these cold ass fries in there. So really monitor the temperature of the pan. If you drop fries in, it's cooling down, turn it up, because you really wanna keep that heat. Obviously if you have a deep fryer, it helps, but not everybody has a deep fryer at home. Now what you're looking for is color and crispy. So let them go until they get there. Because of all the work we've done ahead of time, now when they get crispy, they're gonna stay crispy, in theory. I didn't put that many in right now because I'm messing around with the temperature of the oil. Once I get it to where I want it to be, I'm gonna put more in, but right now I'm kind of gauging it. You know, that's what you should do. You should really be looking at your thermometer, the fries, you know, working with the oil. They're cooked already, right? Like they're soft to a certain extent. So the more you fuck around with them, the more they're gonna break. You want them to be soft because you want them to get crispy. It's kind of like a double-edged sword. You just need to be careful. Like I said, the broken ones are fine. Let them be broken because they're gonna be delicious. So as they fry, the moisture is leaving them. They're gonna start floating, all right? And they're getting darker and darker and darker. You wanna look for that. Like take them out when they're floating, basically. Let them come all the way to the top. It means that they're gonna be almost hollow inside, which is nice. It's gonna help with them staying crispy. So we have all of our fries. They are finished. They are GBD, golden brown and delicious. Okay, into the bowl, little paper towel, kitchen paper in there. Get salt on them right when they come out, and there's still a bit of oil on them to help the salt stick. All right, give them a little tossy, nicey. You could hear how crispy they are. Okay, see? Fantastic. And we'll get them in a bowl, and we'll eat them with Heinz ketchup. You can see like inside the potato shrinks and the crust there's like a space between the crust and the potato. That's ideal. That means the flesh of the potato is shrinking and moisture is gone.